When you're staring at a driveway that looks more like a snowdrift than a place you can park your car, the decision to buy a snow removal tool feels a lot like a gamble. You wonder whether the machine will actually move the snow, whether it'll survive the cold, and if you'll end up paying a premium for something that barely scratches the surface of the job. I've spent a few winters testing the EGO Power Plus 21-inch electric snowblower, and I'm here to break down the real-world pros and cons so you can decide if it's worth putting that money on the line. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest source of hesitation for most buyers is the cordless promise. A lot of electric snow blowers still tether you to an outlet, which in a snow-filled yard can be a nightmare. The EGO comes with two 56V 6.0 Ah batteries and a dual-port charger, so you technically have about 12 Ah of capacity at your disposal before you need to swap or recharge. In practice, that translates to roughly 30 to 35 minutes of continuous clearing on a moderate load before the battery gauge dips into the amber zone. If you have a typical suburban driveway, say, 8 to 10 feet wide and up to 8 inches deep of powder, the unit can usually finish the job on a single battery, especially if the snow is light and fluffy. The second battery is a safety net for those moments when the snow is heavy, wet, or the driveway stretches beyond 12 feet. That dual battery setup is where the value really starts to show, because most competing cordless models ship with just one pack and force you to buy extras at a premium. The design is single-stage, meaning the steel auger both gathers and ejects the snow in one pass. The 21-inch clearing width feels generous for a home-size machine, and the steel auger holds up surprisingly well against the occasional icy chunk. What you'll notice on the first run is how far the snow actually gets thrown. EGO's peak power technology combines the output of both batteries when you need that extra push, and the chute can launch the snow up to 45 feet. In my experience, that distance is realistic on a light, dry snowfall. You can actually clear the snow from the edge of your driveway and have it land well beyond your sidewalk, keeping you from having to shovel the same pile twice. The remote chute control lets you adjust the direction without stopping, which feels like a small but meaningful convenience when you're already shivering. One practical strength that often gets lost in marketing speak is the heated handle grips. In sub-zero temperatures, having a warm hand can be the difference between a quick job and a miserable half-hour of cramping. The heating element is modest, just enough to keep the palms from freezing, but it's consistent and doesn't drain the batteries any faster than the motor does. Coupled with the push-button start, you're not wrestling with pull cords or priming a gasoline engine. You just press a button, and the unit is ready to go, which is a real time saver on those early mornings when you're already short on sleep. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. The single-stage mechanism, while simpler and lighter, does have limits on the depth of snow it can handle. The manufacturer claims it can clear up to 8 inches, but that's under ideal conditions: dry, powdery snow. If you get a wet, heavy snowfall that builds up quickly, the auger will start to bog down around the 4 to 5 inch mark, and you'll notice the motor pulling more current. The battery indicator will dip faster, and you may need to switch to the second pack sooner than you'd like. For a driveway that regularly sees 10 inches of wet snow, a 2-stage gas blower might still be more reliable. Another practical weakness is the weight and maneuverability. At about 30 pounds, it's lighter than many gas counterparts, but it's still a heftier piece of equipment to push around if you're dealing with a long, uneven driveway or a sloped yard. The wheels have decent traction, yet they're not as wide as the larger gas models. So on a very icy surface, you might find the unit slipping a bit as you try to maintain a straight line. The lesson here is that the EGO excels on flat, moderately sized surfaces where you can keep a steady pace, but it's not the best choice for steep or uneven terrain. Who should buy this snow blower? If you live in a region that gets regular, moderate snowfall, think 5 to 8 inches a few times a month, have a driveway or walkway that fits within a 14-car length, and you value low maintenance, quiet operation, the EGO Power Plus is a solid match. The quiet electric motor means you won't wake up the whole neighborhood, and you won't have to worry about oil changes, spark plugs, or the smell of gasoline lingering on your clothes. The included heated grips and remote chute control also make it a comfortable tool for anyone who isn't looking to endure a